So these cows are actually coming right off of this, going straight to the slaughterhouse. There's no corn, no feedlot, no nothing. They come right out of here into a trailer right to the slaughterhouse. Yes, ma'am.
Are those mineral salt?
Yeah, the boxes here are mineral. We're feeding Fur Trail's Poultry Nutribalancer, which is essentially a food-grade soft rock phosphate, a little bit of seaweed, plus C90 full-spectrum mineral salt out of the ocean, and what else? And kelp, straight dehydrated seaweed.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
The other box has some baking soda in it.
Okay.
Okay.
And then, do you keep your cows 3 years?
Do we keep ours 3 years? Well, the cows stay as long as they produce a calf every year.
Okay.
All right. The slaughter animals, no, they're usually between 20 and 30 months. One of the problems with 3 years here in America is the 30-month rule, which was created by the mad cow problem. You have to pay an extra huge amount to get an over 30-month animal slaughtered at the slaughterhouse because of the spinal cord, the SREs, the specified risk factors from mad cow. And so there's a huge prejudice against keeping animals that long in the U.S. because of the mad cow regulations. And yet this is the only animal guaranteed to not have mad cow.
Right.
What's the wisdom behind the baking soda?
The wisdom behind the baking soda is a stimulant for that fermentation process in their rumen. Sometimes they don't want it at all, and other times the weather will shift, and all of a sudden a bunch of them will want it. So we just kind of let them make that decision. We don't have it out there all the time, but the other thing that's happening here is everybody needs to understand this is not but a little tiny piece of the number of animals that we have. We'll winter 900 head. We've got a herd of 340 over at one farm, a herd of 250 at another farm. They're being moved every day, same deal. So this is kind of the top end and the bottom end. We've got some new bred heifers here, some finishing steers, and what we call the wolf pack, which are the dregs that the wolves would have eaten in the wild. And we sort them out of the great big mob to give them a little bit of extra TLC. So that's why you see some kind of rough coats, some poor looking animals. Goodness, well, there's one right there, that white face is poorish. Because when you have 900 head, you're going to have a couple non-doers. We call it the wolf pack, and so we're always sorting back. Most of the time, after they get a little bit of remedial education, they can join the classroom again. But in nature, they would have been picked off before they could have joined the classroom. Okay, that's why we call them the wolf pack. All right. Other questions?
How long before you bring them back here?
How long before we bring them back here? They probably won't come back here. If we get some rain here in the next few days, this will grow back enough to graze in late November, early December. There should be one more grazing here of the season. This field was grazed twice early in the spring. Then we made hay on it, and now it's being grazed and should be grazed one more time yet.
Every 60 days?
Oh no, not every 60 days. Lots of times we rest 150 days. That is not a formula. It's an art, and that's why this is so hard for people, because they want cookie cutter, every so. But this is very much depending on rainfall, utilization. Where do we want the cows to be at a certain time? It's very much an art form. This daily move. Yeah. But we call this mob stocking, herbivorous solar conversion, lignified carbon sequestration, fertilization. And if every livestock cattle operation in America practiced this model, in fewer than 10 years, we would sequester all the carbon that's been emitted since the beginning of the industrial age. That's how efficacious this is.